as a competitor, you have to look at that and say, okay, how can I have to figure out a way to take apart that team. And so now the challenge becomes, how do I find cracks within their system, within their personnel? How can I take them down? As a competitor, I would have thought less about myself if I looked at that move and said, that's unfair.
Right.
If you're a real competitor, you look at that and say, okay, lace them up. Let's go. I don't care how many players you have over there. We're still going to take you down.
Max, that brings me to my question. How would have Kobe's team done against the Warriors?
They'd have lost. My friend Rick Fox is going to kill me for this one.
Which team?
All the Lakers teams lose to this Warriors team.
All?
All of them.
You mean
blanket statement?
All of them.
Showtime?
Everyone.
You mean the 2000-2001 Lakers team?
Yeah, everyone. But we're talking about Kobe's championship Lakers teams.
Stephen A. said.
Now, I'm going to have to start by explaining the difference between better and greater.
Okay.
Are these Warriors teams greater than those Lakers teams? No. What's the difference? I'm going to go to track and field because track and field is purely objective.
Okay.
Better is measured by how fast you get from point A to point B. So take the 100-meter dash. The quicker the time, the better you are.
What?
So, you got to follow me.
Let him finish.
So every top 10 sprinter in the world today is better than Jesse Owens. You know how we know? Because opinions are taken out, and we can look at the time. Every single top 10 sprinter in the world today is better than Jesse Owens. How many are as great? None, one, something like that. The point is he fared better against his contemporaries than anyone except maybe Usain Bolt fares against his contemporaries. So you can say he's as great or greater, but you can't say he's as good. You can't say he's better than. We have the times to prove it. In the one sport you can measure objectively, you see everyone gets better and better and better. Now, how does this apply to the Lakers? Because Stephen A. sees Shaq and Kobe, and in their case, they may have also been, better in a kind of pure basketball sense. If you sent these Warriors back to that era, maybe the Lakers win. If you sent them both to a neutral era, maybe the Lakers win. But if they are playing basketball in 2016, you mean to tell me, let's take the 2000-2001 Lakers. That's the greatest incarnation of any team in Kobe's career, right? Iteration of it. It's when Shaq was the MVP and they were unstoppable. They went 15-1 in the postseason. They hit 439 threes that whole season. The Warriors hit 1,077. They more than doubled their total. So that team, no matter how you slice it, they're counting by two. These guys are counting by threes. There's no hand checking. You got zone defenses. You have the spread pick and roll. Now, if that team had time to prepare for this team a season long, they could tweak the roster, get three-point shooters, they could compete. But they're not going to beat a team that is better offensively, better offensive efficiency. That's by the numbers. They're better defensive efficiency, these Warriors teams. That's by the numbers. And you're simply not going to beat them counting by twos, Stephen A., no matter how you slice it. Don't pretend you're not amazed by those points. The only way to be not amazed is to not listen.
You shouldn't even be allowed to talk basketball after that comment. It's unbelievable to me. First of all, a couple of things that we have to take into consideration. We can't have it all. You can't have the players and the rules of today and all of this other stuff that comes along with it that allows you to qualify your statements by throwing in about 17 ifs before you come to your conclusion. We got to look at talent. And what I'm saying to you is this. You can sit up there and say, okay, the Warriors are unbeatable based on today's rules. Hell yeah. You know why? Because you can't touch them. If you sat up there and you had bad breath, all right, and you didn't take an Altoid, you might get called for 5 fouls, okay? So surely under those circumstances, yeah, they could win, but the reality is clear. When we look at these rosters, Max Kellerman, when we look at the rosters of the Los Angeles Lakers, let's take into account 2000, 2001. That Lakers team, that was a lot
of good perimeter defenders on that team.
How about that? How about that? Because see, you forgot to bring that up. I'm not gonna forget. 15-1 in the playoffs. That's what they were. They had the most dominant force of the modern day era in Shaquille O'Neal. No answer. No answer.
No answer, but you counted by twos and ones. Sometimes only hits one foul.
Wait a minute. But who's fouling him? Because you only got but so many fouls to give. It's going to be Klay Thompson collapsing, Draymond Green collapsing. You got Derek Fisher. I'm going to bring up Derek Fisher. Do you know why? Because you talk about somebody that would have been all up up in Steph Curry, making him very, very uncomfortable. Oh, that would have been. And why would I bring that up? I would have never thought to bring that up before these playoffs. But what I saw happen to Steph Curry in the playoffs,
100%.
particularly, so I'm not going to ignore that. I'm also not going to forget Ron Harper, who was a pretty damn good defender, who, by the way, had like a 6 to 7 inch height advantage over Steph Curry, for crying out loud. At least a 5 inch.
I mean, you said he was hurt. That's why he had a bad series.
Wait a minute.
You said he was hurt.
That's not the point. That's not the point. What I am saying to you is this. When you look at their talent, okay, who you going to defend? We got questions about who Golden State's going to defend now. Who are you going to defend then? And by the way, I just said all of these things.
Where are they
Hold
playing?
on. Time out. I just said all of these things. I didn't even get to Kobe. I didn't even bring up Kobe. I didn't even get to Kobe yet. I'm talking about the Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba.
Yeah.
The Kobe Bryant that averaged 28. The Kobe Bryant who was a second-team all-defensive player. For 4 straight years, Kobe Bryant was either first-team or second-team all-defense. And you're going to put either Steph Curry or Klay Thompson in front of his face, and you think they're going to score?
I will remind you.
Excuse me.
That the Phoenix Suns, with that primitive style that the Warriors have basically perfected, like the beginnings of the spread pick and roll, the Steve Nash, gave the Lakers run. This is them on steroids, so to speak.
With your nonsensical stuff for 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Chill. That Kobe
Longest
stuff
5 minutes I ever had on this show.
That Kobe Bryant with those 5, you could say maybe you didn't deserve it. Maybe you didn't deserve it. The point that I'm trying to make to you is this. That was years later with Phoenix. We talk about 2000, 2001.
When are they playing? Are they playing today or are they playing then?
That's my point.
Yes.
You sat up there.
Today.
You sat up there today.
Yes.
My point to you is this. You can get called for a foul for having bad breath.
Right.
Kobe,
So you agree?
Shaq.
So you agree today they wouldn't win?
No. I don't agree with that.
Oh, so
Because what I'm saying to you is this. What I saw in the playoffs that was allowed was more emblematic of what took place years ago than what takes place in today's game. They're not beating the Los Angeles Lakers. They make it interesting, but they're not beating Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah. Shaq's counting by 2s and sometimes 1s. He only hits 1 out of 2. They're counting by 3s. It's math. It's arithmetic.
You know what? Okay. All right.
I mean, the Lakers.
From now on, you know what? I got a right to talk boxing.
We have a right to talk boxing.
Because if you can say that stuff about